Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Do you think the guys in charge of Europe know they screwed up? And I'm talking screwed up, they allowed, through their idiotic behavior, together with the Americans, allowed the formation of a counter group, which is challenging definitely their hegemony. Well, here is the first topic for this video. Ukraine security guarantees only after peace deal, Moscow says. So Moscow clearly says you can't have security guarantees without us, and that will be determined only after the peace deal. That means we're going to have the peace and then we're going to see the security guarantees. The Ukrainians, on the other hand, said, no. You should have security guarantees from the Europeans, from NATO, exactly what Russia was fighting in Ukraine. And then maybe we're going to have peace or something in between. The Russia says, no. Peace first, and then we're going to discuss about security. That means they don't link the security guarantees with the peace treaty. That's very interesting. That's the first topic. Second one, the United Nations Security Council to hold urgent meeting today on Russia's strikes against Ukraine. No worries. Yesterday, the United States of America was the only country that voted against a resolution about Gaza famine produced by the boss. The only country. And then they justified it saying, well, actually the attack on that little hospital with those 4 or 5 journalists, well, it was justified because there were some Hamas in there. This is the level of our elected officials and appointed baboons that represent us. They are on someone else's payroll. But hey, they will have a UN Security Council to hold urgent meeting today on Russia's strikes against Ukraine. Nothing will happen. Why? Russia will veto, China will abstain, and so on. Next one, very, very important piece of news, very important. I've been waiting for this, not because I wanted it to happen, but it confirms something I've been saying for so long, which is China, India, Russia, they finally got home, they got out and say, guys, we are together, you guys over there, you lost. Why you lost? You got us as the competition. Why couldn't you just treat us as equal and try to do business with us instead of looking down on us, impose things, dictate, sanction us? Why? Well, because the other guys still live in a deluded reality, which is we are still in charge. You are not. I remember Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of the Russian Federation, in an interview before the garbage in Ukraine, which is before 2022. He said, he was in an interview with, I remember exactly with whom, Mr. Goldberg, I think is his name. Goldberg, he's the BBC, he's Jewish. It was just a coincidence. He's the BBC, the designated person to interview and ask questions in the name of BBC in Moscow. You go look at him and you're going to realize, oh, you look like a Zimbabwean. All right. So Goldberg says something and then Lavrov said, the West cannot get used to the idea that is gone. They lost. They don't run the show. That's what he said. They don't run the show anymore. They can't live with this idea. So they are trying with their last spasms. Have you ever seen a fish? You take him out of the water, whatever, you caught him, you cut his head off, you put him over here, he's going to have some spasms. Chip, 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 pop, chip, pop, pip. That's how the Europeans are. At the last, but they don't want to accept it. And if they don't accept it, it's going to be even worse for them. All right, because a prerequisite in development or improving yourself is to objectively look at reality. See it the way it is, or at least how objectively you can look at your garbage, at their garbage, your qualities, their qualities, your defects, their defects, not on the, I pick and choose, selective. If you're selective, you will not do the right thing to evolve, to develop, to get better. Maybe they don't want to get better. Did you think about this one? Maybe these guys don't even have to say, what are we doing with Europe? Maybe they are, yeah, we're on the right track actually. Why? Because, it says here we have to do this. Why? We don't care. I'm in power. That's all what matters. And the last topics, actually not topic, I have two more topics. The first one, Russia, India, China, plus Iran, plus the woodchuck Kim Jong-un from North Korea, plus Maduro, plus United Arab Emirates, plus maybe Turkey, plus maybe Saudi Arabia. There are many countries knocking at the door of at Shanghai Organization Cooperation. Or not only that, BRICS as well. Why? The Russians, the Chinese, and the Indians, we are supposed to reflexively hate. They seem to treat other countries, as of now, on an equal footing, kind of. Unlike these guys dictating and threatening, blackmailing, regime changing, and so on. So, Russia condemns revival of Iran sanctions by UK, France, and Germany. Again, the same dead empires with the last spasm before they, blood comes off their nostrils. This is the guys. They think it's always in packs. So the other guys now are stronger. UK, France, Germany cannot in any way oppose India, China, Russia. I'm looking at the important stuff, not in pornography or in drug addicts or in changing your bowls into pussy or identification. No, I'm not talking about the imbecilic stuff. No, in things that really matter. They cannot. That's why without the US, they are just some baboons in the field, putting a feather in their asses and thinking that they're all, chiefs or something. So, not regular Indians. Let's go to the last topic. Russia ready to assist the Taliban. Good job, Taliban. So Russia now gets into you get into Georgia and, not Georgia, Armenia and Afghanistan, Armenia and Azerbaijan. You tried in Georgia, we're going to go in Afghanistan. And not only that, we're going to have our route that way. And they will cooperate. The Russians and the Afghans will cooperate in what exactly? Combating terrorism. Conducted by whom? Maybe by CIA drones on other territories, other countries, breaking and violating their sovereignty. That's what they do. CIA drones from Pakistan fly into Afghanistan and kill terrorists. What if, let's say, some other people who designate terrorists in the United States of America do the same thing to the Americans? Do you think these guys will say, well, that's fine, man, that's fine. You designated Gigi as a terrorist in our country, you have the right to fly your drones and kill him, in Washington, D.C. Do you think they will say, yeah, it's okay? No, you can't do that. We're going to kill you up, but somehow we can do that to you. That's why many countries on I would say a great majority of the countries on this planet will go and will say, I want with you, China, India, Russia. You'll see. So let's start with the beginning. Coming from Russia today, 29th of August. Ukraine security guarantees only after peace deal. That means it's not security guarantees is not going to be anything that we're going to discuss before you agree to give us everything. And she's going to reiterate exactly what they will have. I'm talking about the Russians, and they are working on it. Western proposals only serve to destabilize the region. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova has said, security guarantees for Ukraine must be the result of a settlement of the conflict with Russia, not a precondition for negotiations. Why? Because we can. And we're going to treat you as enemies. We will have no mercy. That's what she said. And then at the press briefing on Friday, Zakharova said, any guarantees must be based on and I'm quoting, understanding that takes into account the security interests of Russia. That means we do not give a damn about all of you. You try to put a Gaddafi on Putin, we're gonna smack you back. No, it's the security guarantees we need, and then whatever trickles down to you, we'll see if we agree to that. We impose, you're gonna take it in the butt. I was about to say the other word with A. Ass. All right, let's move on. She added that the settlement must ensure Ukraine's demilitarization, denazification, neutral and non-nuclear status, and recognition of the territorial realities. You got it? This is This is what they want and this is what they will get. And I'm quoting, it is necessary to understand that providing security guarantees is not a condition, but a result of a peaceful settlement based on eliminating the root causes of the conflict in Ukraine, which in turn will guarantee the security of our country. Got it? The options proposed by the collective West are one-sided, and these guys are doing the same thing, I'm talking about the Russians, built with the obvious expectations of containing Russia. They increase the risk of NATO being drawn into an armed conflict with our country, she said. Correct, my friends. So, you know how things will be determined? The way they have been determined in the past 3 years and a half in the battlefield. That's it. It's not going to be, we negotiate, I tell you this, I got bigger balls than this, No. I queue up and I'm going to get you. That's how it's going to be determined. And I said this many times before. First topic. Let's go to the next one. These guys are very much concerned with the Russia strikes against Ukraine, but not with the IDF strikes on Gaza. No, or with the famine occurring over there, which United States of America was the only one who voted against in the UN Security Council, a declaration, a statement calling, the famine in Gaza. Because there's no famine in Gaza, according to the Americans. Know how low these guys got. How low they got. Why? They are owned. They are owned. It's not about being ally with Israel. This is not alliance. This is not alliance. This is servitude. Is that how you call it? Vassalage. Anyway, what's going to happen here? It starts with N. Nothing. Russia will veto it, China will abstain, the other guys will be all upset, and the caravan keeps moving. Russia today. Modi to hold talks with Xi and Putin in China. That's it. Where? They're going to be at Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Right there. The Indian Prime Minister will be in Tianjin for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. And Putin will be on the 3rd in Shanghai, in Beijing, for the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War in the East, not in the Far East front, let's call it this way, which has actually occurred in September 2nd, if you remember, when the Japanese signed unconditional surrender to the Americans. 2nd of September, being threatened with genocide, basically. Not basically, clearly. I explained this many times before. If you have questions, stay tuned or stick around. I will repeat that more from now for the next 5 years. All right, so these guys are going to meet in Kim Jong-un, nuclear power. North Korea will be over there too. We'll talk to Putin, we'll talk to Xi Jinping, and Modi right here talks with these guys before that. What does it tell you? These guys are not only cooperating, planning what can we do to these guys, and they are unstoppable compared with the other baboons, France, Germany, and United Kingdom. Why? They're dying. Unfortunately, the West has been dying. Has been bled to death by certain entity. This is not like a natural cause in the case of the Western world. It's the cycle of civilization. There's about eight stages, 8 or 9, doesn't really matter. It's not about that. This was accelerated. This was a man-made purpose. This is a sabotaged. The Western Europe and the Americans are sabotaged. By whom? You know exactly whom. I know at least one entity. You know exactly who I'm talking about. All right. The Indian Prime Minister will be in Tianjin for the Shanghai Paka. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said on Thursday that he will hold talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping in Tianjin, China. Modi will visit China on Saturday for the 21st Head of State Council Cooperation Organization. In a post on X, Modi said India has played an active and constructive role in the SCO. India will keep working with SCO members, address various shared challenges, and will also meet President Xi Jinping, President Putin, and other leaders during the summit. Got it? Modi confirms he will meet Putin, Xi on SCO. Good, because this imbecile is right here. They think they still have it. No, they have it not. Russia Today. Russia condemns revival of Iran sanctions by UK. So that means Russia, together with these guys, don't worry, they will be at it. Why? You'll see. It's a reshuffle of the world. Sometimes, my friends, in the world, there are some situations that develop, and if you don't smell them, you're gonna be left behind. Or if you smell them but you don't want to jump on board, you're gonna again miss the train. Like for instance, there were many other things in the past that people missed the train. Like for instance with the computers, people, or let's say the internet. Some people did not want to say, oh, computer is something will have no future. Remember, I think it was even Bill Gates who said that, no future. And look where it's right now. So if you didn't jump on that one, then you missed the train. This is exactly what's going on here currently. We, my friends, you and I, us, we actually are contemporary with very big developments in the world's history. Things that you hear, I don't know, Magna Carta, not even, Magna Carta was from spreading around, but Second World War, or not even this, is a global, maybe after the Second World War, after it was broken between the Soviets and the Americans, something like this, even smarter right now, faster and more dangerous. We are contemporary. We should smell and taste the flavor of this circumstance. It's fantastic. Imagine two groups that could one another up like this, and they are going to go fast. This is an accelerated world now. It's not the ones that you're like a typing machine, or I don't know, sending tick 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 Morse, Morse code. We're past that. We are fortunate. Maybe it's not good to watch this happening, but at least what can you do? Enjoy. Get your popcorn or whatever, cheese, get your wine and enjoy it, man. Because it might end in a certain way very quickly. And then you can tell your grandchildren, I was there and when that happened. Give me the fucking wine. That's how you're gonna be part of history. Like people who, I don't know, shook hands with, I don't know, JFK or Elvis or someone. You look at that guy and say, oh my God, this guy shook that guy's hand. He's like part of the global histories. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying? Let's see what's going on here. Moscow has accused the European powers of abusing the UN snapback mechanism against Tehran. Of course, they abuse whatever they want because they think they are above that. Russia has condemned the decision by the UK, France and Germany to reinstate UN sanctions against Iran, calling the move a manipulation of international law. Well, the three European countries accused Tehran of failing to meet its nuclear commitments and argued this justifies restoring the sanctions. First, I want all three countries to give away their peaceful nuclear programs. All of them, UK, France, will be dead in 2 weeks. Germany and UK, I want your nuclear weapons out. I want your nuclear weapons out, and you will never have nuclear weapons. I want you, no. I want the Americans to make sure that they protect you with their nuclear weapons, that they can protect Germany, and they provide you with the Russians with the nuclear material to operate your garbage nuclear power plants. How about that if we are to be, fair? But they don't want to be fair. That's the whole point. They want to be above the law and somehow they dictate. Who? UK, France and Germany dictate to Iran? Who the fuck are you guys? None of these three countries, none of them has a bigger population than Iran. Iran has like 93 million. Germany has like 82 with all the imports, if you know what I mean. They're going to take care of the German women. France, 60 something, and UK the same way. You guys are small countries pushed in a fucking continent against the Atlantic Ocean. You're zero. You're going to be zero. You have to restructure your mentality. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. I'm not going to jump on that train. And the Indians are coming. Woo, 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 and you're dead and scalped. God damn it. But they tell Iran what to do. Well, you can't have this, we're going to impose sanctions. Who the fuck are you? Well, they don't even go to that. That's why they're left behind. No problem. Let's go to the last topic. Russia Today. Russia ready to assist Taliban. I'm wondering what. Will they get the American equipment worth almost $1 billion? All right. Moscow is prepared to help the Afghan government in the fight against drugs and terrorism, the Security Council Secretary said. Okay, so that means Security Council Secretary has said. So drugs, why? Because of the poppy seeds that the Americans were helping plant over there? No? Oh no, I'm just saying that was not proven. Oh, or about the terrorism, which is the US drones flying out of Pakistan, flying and violating the Afghani airspace and killing bad dudes that the Americans designated as bad dudes. That means if Afghanistan, let's say tomorrow, designates, I don't know, Juju Kaka, a terrorist in, let's say, Washington, D.C., they have the same right to fly a drone or maybe show off with a boat in Washington, D.C. and the guy, because they designated the guy as a terrorist. Is that how it works? The same. Is international law or is not? No, it's not. This is the law. This is bigger. I queue up, basically. But it's interesting. Against drugs and terrorism. Where are the Americans? Well, the Americans are where they're supposed to. The Americans are shackled by interest. Those interests made ton of money in Afghanistan. We didn't lose. Maybe we as humans, as citizens, we as the, how do I call it, the plebeians, we lost. Because we always get, we're footed at the tab and we pay. And our children and so on, grandchildren. But they won. Everything they did in Ukraine, in Afghanistan will happen in Ukraine if they win. They will reconstruct. With whose money? They will give our money, our tax money, or loans, or printed money, which is going to yield inflation, going to give to companies to rebuild Afghanistan. Why? Rebuilding democracy. I don't give a fuck about Afghanis democracy, just so you know. I care about what's going on over here. Oh, no. We have to stop them over there so that they don't come over here. Why would they come over here? What did you do to them so they want to come over here and look at September 11th for you, huh? Nothing. They just hate our freedoms. They will stay away from you. The same with NATO. NATO doesn't like Russia. Russia is the enemy, but they creep towards Russia. Not Russia towards NATO. Is that what you do? When you have someone that you're afraid of, you go close to him and stay over there and try to see what he's doing so he can smack you? Or you want to just cut his throat in the middle of the night like a garbage that you are? Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.